Hello, Beau from Core. Hello. Um, all right, what's this video? Well, on Reddit and the AMA, I guess the ranked and matchmaking AMA, this week, I think it was Blizz Cooper that put a thing out saying, we're thinking and discussing what to do with Team League, how to make it an attractive thing to play. And I'm like, well, I play this game all the time. We do a show, and I have people I can play Team League with, and we often don't play it. So I was trying to think. The challenge for me is not that I won't play it, but how do I get the friends that I want to play with to play it, right? And so I'm going to try and make this video as brief as possible, because the idea that I have is I'm sure someone's thought of this before, had to have over there. And also, once you hear the idea, you can kind of fill in the blanks. You're probably a lot smarter about this stuff than I am. But here it is. I mentioned it on Core this week, so if you happen to listen to it, wouldn't be a surprise. But scrap Team League as it is and introduce Team League Arena. That's right, the Hearthstone mode for teams as the premier experience for competitive play in the game. How does that work and why? Okay, so that's really what this video is going to about. You can kind of stop now if you just feel like writing it off, or not writing off, but you've already considered it, or I don't know. You kind of get it from there. But I'm trying to make this brief, so I'm going to stop rambling. Basically, what I'm going to cover with what I'm talking about is just why this is awesome, my thoughts on like what it would look like in a hero sense, and just a few other ideas that throw out there. There's a Word document. I wrote it 7 pages, but I decided to do the video just in case. I'm not going to make anyone read a wall of text on my ideas when a quick video will do. So, and I'm not sort of directly staring into the camera. Sorry if that's tilting. I've got paper that I'm trying to look at. Okay, so Team League Arena, Heroes Arena, just Arena. I'm not sure about the name. We all know what it is. That's what we replace Team League with, kind of. I think Team League, well, I'll get to that. But this is the premier mode for competitive 5v5 play. So just going to start. Why should this be the premier version of play? And I imagine a lot of resistance, which is why I'm making this to share with you, for you to do with what you will. But I'm expounding on it in a little more detail than I did on the show this week. So first of all, it's dramatic engagement. The biggest thing I think that tournaments offer, all kinds of tournaments, and everyone knows this, is that they have a dramatic arc. And there's a through line as players and viewers of streams watching someone fail or succeed in a finite medium. Whereas Team League is just an infinite, endless grind through a desert. It's hard to get people motivated, but not too hard to say, even if we go 3-3, let's try to play in a competitive environment. And then there's a whole story about rewards, and there's this whole loop that really works for Arena that can work for a broad spectrum of players. So this isn't addressing, if I'm a Master League player, where can I get I think that still could be available in here too, to be honest. But this is for everybody. My team is like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and a diamond. And it really sucks when the bronze guy beats diamond players and we get 200 points towards bronze. It's just there's not enough oomph to that, right? He fought really hard opponents and he had to push himself a lot to play at that level. And so, it's just not worth it. In the end of the day, I think it's discouraging for a lot of players. So dramatic shift, dramatic engagement. Easy to organize. The arena system, I think, is revolutionary because, tournaments, I'm sure the tournament structure system has been suggested to you before. I don't know what the analysis is, but I can imagine it'd be lots of development time for you. And for us, we might not get our shit together to organize ourselves to play in a tournament. Lots of people will miss, and the tournament quality will suck. And so, is it really worth it? So, Arena decouples it from that. We'll play our games when we're ready, and hopefully there'll be teams around at peak times to play games and all for the Arena system, because it's more at your leisure and a little more accessible, and it's a more, which is what I'm going to get to next, a comfortable atmosphere. So it's really important, I think, for a lot of people when they play in a mode that provokes higher anxiety, that they're around people that they're comfortable with. And that might be a bunch of, high level, strung out kind of players or whatever, playing with a high level of intensity, or it can just be, friends playing, and it needs to be a comfortable atmosphere. And that's the thing about finding people to play Team League with, is I've played with a variety of people, including teams from the Chair League, and it's just, they were nice and we had fun and we won games, we lost games, but it was not, there was a lack of personality synergy there. And I don't want to just play a mode. Like, I think most people don't want to just get to play a mode and put up with people that they maybe don't. It's not that they dislike them. They don't vibe with them as much as their actual heroes buddies that they want to play with. So I think there's more opportunity to be inclusive of that, which is the next thing. Arena is accessible and schedule friendly. I kind of already said the schedule friendly part. But it really is. The rank disparity is an extreme layer of difficulty when you're already trying to sort out scheduling issues with your teammates. So, if you take the rank issue away and just invite whoever, and like, if you invite some friends you never played with before and don't like it, then you're not stuck having said, let's make a team for Team League. It's like, you played a run and we went how it went and whatever. So there's less of a commitment there. This makes scheduling easier, makes experimenting with finding the right people for your future Team League arena runs better, I think. As well, rewards. Rewards are kind of supposed to inspire people to want to play the mode. And it's not because the rewards aren't cool, because they are very cool. But I think it just needs a little more punch, and you got to wait the whole season to get them. I think it's kind of nice to end the run and get the rewards you're going to get, and so it doesn't need much elaboration. There's arena rewards; they're fun to get. In Hearthstone, I have no doubt that we can come up with arena-specific rewards, seasonal event rewards, which I'll get to in a second. All kinds of cool stuff like that. Variety and freshness. So that's the other thing. Hey, if you want to do a week with a custom rule set and challenge everybody to a crazy thing, now we can do it. Now it can be all Warcraft heroes, or Deathwing could visit and do random damage or on players and just add this additional layer. And it can be short, so people, get back to their, true competitive mode if they didn't like it, or if they did like it, then we can bring it back again. And then we can make rewards tailored to the event and make the thing of an event and make people want to go play that. So rather than the current quests, just like, oh, just log in and play some games and you'll get the Sonya portrait. Well, log in and play some Temple. I want to say Temple Arena run. It's Heroes Team League Arena. Like, play a Team League Arena run and get this sweet reward. And they don't have to play for very long. They can lose games if, but still feel like they participated at that good level, that high level. So that keeps the game filled with variety and freshness. Last thing I would say is we could put a leaderboard in it. So arena caps out at 12. No reason, especially if the seasons are short enough, that we can't have a leaderboard for people who go farther than 12. And if it gets reset fast enough, someone, a team could declare themselves champ of June leaderboard, or a consistent champ, or whatever. So that player base is satisfied that they have a part of the system that rewards their, wanting to be the best in a 5v5 setting. I think really good teams should go for really long stretches without taking too many losses. And at that level, it'll be always like cutthroat teams fighting one another. So they'll be getting like a really good experience at that back end, and a really not stressful one, but dramatic one. Again, back to the dramatic. So I think there's a lot of benefits. Also, we could give rewards, special rewards, to first, second, and third place at the end of every season run, and put a little leaderboard up for whoever made it the deepest. So what happens, so the questions are, what happens to Team League as it is now? And you roll it into Hero League. The suggestions in the Reddit, in the Reddit here, what was to, maybe roll it all up into one. Well, we can do that. People who still want to play ranked and think that's the mode to play and to be good in will still have that. And it will not be that pure solo league thing, but I think the point was made in a different comment that, well, do we need solo queue anymore? Solo queue felt like it was needed because voice comms were not in the game. Voice comms are in the game, and there's been some good experiences with it and some not so good. I think we can, so that we don't have too many game modes, ranked becomes ranked. It rolls all up back up into one, and we go for the more puritanical, the more this is 5v5 heroes and this is competitive. We go for a tournament, a flexible tournament style with Arena. And so all these things sort of are a confluence of different ideas that I saw in this Reddit thread that was like, oh, we can bring this together and solve this thing, I think. And I'm a little worried that, like, sometimes, the player base thinks it knows what it wants, but doesn't know what it wants. And I was looking at the comments in there, and a lot of people gravitated towards this call. I haven't seen a lot of comments saying in the Reddit threads or just online on Twitter, like, this is what I want from my Team League experience. People are so disconnected from it. They focused on all the other stuff and just want the game as it is now. But I really think this would be super healthy and great for it. So we just roll Team League into Hero League and make it ranked. I think we're ready for that now. And then we've got built-in voice comms, so if you're solo, you've got that option, and everyone's got what they need to rank up in that environment now. And then, so I have a little thing here. Why not do just traditional tournaments? I'm sure you can better answer that than I can, of course. I mean, for all this, you can answer better than, but just that, it's a lot of logistics, basically. And so this, I think, makes more sense to the way people play video games online now and how tournaments are now. So, okay, that's all the benefits, the excitement, some ideas on how it could work. So the plus side is no effect. I mean, even if you don't do any seasonal stuff, or these are just ideas I have, the baseline gameplay is the same. Free pick, do 3 whatever. The gameplay is unaffected. It's clearly just a systems thing bracketing the chocolatey goodness inside. And it's just a matter of incentivizing people to want to play the mode. And so I think that the game stays the same. I'm going to talk about, I don't know much about matchmaking, like the real science of it, but I have a few ideas I want to talk about because there could be some concerns with that. But first I'm going to get to, what I think starting this would be, right? So in this Reddit thread, there was also mentioned, do you have committed teams? This suggestion works here in this idea. Again, so what you do is party leader. Okay, if you don't have a run in progress, you can make your party. The party is limited to 5 players with no subs, I'm thinking. Again, all of this is just ideas, so nothing, It's 5 players, no subs. A party must have 5 players to go to the Arena tab. And then I'm actually just going to show, I have like a little idea of what it might look like. So you go over to the Arena tab, and it'll show the create. This isn't the create arena screen, but it'll give you a screen where you can create your arena team. The captain selects create arena team. Once there are 5 people, it's darkened until there's 5 eligible players in the party, and then they're all prompted to commit payment, which might be an arena ticket, which costs 300 gems, 500 gems, or gold, or 5,000 gold, 10,000 gold. And then all players are prompted to commit payment and confirm their involvement. So they do that. So now that we got the gem system in the game, we don't have to worry. Presumably we don't have to worry about gambling, and we can offer out prizes in this fashion. So everyone antes up. Once it's paid, the team can pick a name. They can pick a portrait for their team logo. And that way we have new portraits we can add into the game for logos for teams, or probably can't upload their own. In an ideal world we could, but we know that we can't. And once they pick it, they're good to go. They're on the run. Now, if someone in the team is already on another run, maybe they have the option of abandoning, and I'll get into that in a second, abandoning that team to join this team, or in an ideal world, if you're a team captain, you can have one run, but you could be part of multiple teams if you're not the captain. Again, this programmatically and all that, I don't know how complex that all is, so I'm just going to keep it basic. you have 1 run per account active, so they can abandon. So right now, for the purpose of what I'm discussing, they can abandon their other run to join the new team, let's say. All right, and then they'll get their rewards from wherever they ended up and are moving to the new team. Each account in Heroes Arena can be, oh, never mind. This is me elaborating here. So if the captain abandons a run, the entire team abandons, gets abandoned, gets their prizes. And you're just going to have to trust your team captains to do that. I don't see a way around that kind of stuff. I think that limitation's okay. Captains can't kick people from the teams. So the worst case scenario is if a team is really just not meeting, the captain can just decide to disband, or players can decide to leave. So if you do decide to leave, you get the reward for the tier. Now, the interesting part is I have, like, in the screen here, invite sub, for example. So if GURP decides to leave this party, I get to keep my 4-1 run, and I get to invite a sub. And that sub has to buy in just like anyone else. And then that way we get a replacement. The team would be held for the players in there until they get the new person in. I do worry about abuse of this system, so I'm thinking after a certain amount of wins, let's say 6 wins or 9 wins, subs are no longer available. And that sort of makes sense on the leaderboard. You solidify your team as you progress higher and higher into the system. So once the team name and portrait payment are completed, you're ready to go. Press Q. And if you look here, I have a few other ideas on the screen. See, there's a little leaderboard, and there's your record and your team, and it's just waiting for you to put the people into your party, so you can click ready. But we're going to talk about matchmaking, and at the bottom you see accept more challenging matches. Now, I think the big concern that I can foresee with this mode is, like, if your record is 0-0, you could be matched up in theory against Tempo Storm, right? At least as I understand it in Hearthstone. I don't think, maybe there is behind the scenes stuff that's not evident to a player. So I did have some thought along that line that probably players would feel better knowing that their average MMR seeded from other modes or coming from this mode once enough games have been played, is that they're getting a reasonably matched team. That's already in the game. It's just we're applying it to a new queue here. Okay, so I've gone in text. I've detailed what I think it might looks like. It varies a little bit here, but ultimately, same as in other matchmaking modes, it's going to match you with somebody close in skill. But the thing that I understand, about this kind of a system is that that there are different queues for the win rates, right? We don't want to match an 0-2 team versus an 0-0 team and things of that nature, which really fragments the queues. Which in the game where it's 5-man teams, population might be a concern. So, and then there's the countervailing force of, well, let's make queues shorter for the buckets that I'm showing here, but that might create unfair match scenarios and perception of unfairness to players. So I kind of like the idea that, in this mode, people can decide, they can decide whether or not they want to wait longer to get the fairest match possible, or just go ahead and play, which means, you might play Tempo Storm, and that's okay. There'll be other matches. It's not that big of a deal. And playing against really strong teams is good and healthy too. And mainly this might not even be an issue in the lower end because teams are queuing up more frequently. But basically, that I think the knobs on this can be adjusted. But that basically up to 5 wins, you're guaranteed to play someone with your record. I think once we get to 6 wins, then it starts loosening up. You'll play with people at any number of losses. You've proven that you can win quite consistently, and so, people have to get eliminated in this tournament. So at some point, the MMR difference becomes not an issue, and it becomes more of a tournament-based thing where you've at least proven that you're able to get to a certain distance into the tournament. So that's kind of the look at how broad level, as a user, not someone very good with the finer details of how matchmaking works, would perceive something like this and think of how it should work. Okay. So, and the other important aspect of it is the higher MMR team would not be informed that they were up against a weaker team. So, let's say I'm Tempo Storm. No, but let's say that's the case, and I queue up, and I don't click this, or I click this button. Maybe I do because I'm Tempo Storm. I can beat anybody. I want a fast queue. I queue up, and for all I know, I've got like bronze players in the other team. I will not know. I might find out as the game progresses, but it won't be telegraphed to me. For all I know, it could be a team with a higher MMR because I clicked this button. But I'm Tempo Storm. I should be the best, or Hero's Hearth, or Dignitas. So you get my point. So that's kind of my thoughts on the matchmaker. That's the toughest part for me because, again, I don't know the science that goes into the detailed science that goes into it. But generally speaking, I think that's the direction I take it. Now, there'd be other aspects to this. That's like the nuts and bolts of how I think this would work, basically. The last aspect of it is I have, you'd have a new arena tab in your profile, so you can get this information. You can look at this information for others. Again, entry fees, in my document that I wrote, I spitballed like 10,000 gold for an arena ticket or 300 gems, something to make heroes some money, people playing this mode, and if they find it fun and exciting, that I know they, well, I don't know they will. I think they will. I know I will. I will want to play this, and I will want to get the people that I play with to play it. This is a form of revenue, I think. Coupled with the fact that really good players can go infinite, which is always the fun part of playing these games, and I think it's okay for them to go infinite because they provide, they're people playing the game, so that provides others with the opportunity to play opponents. So it seems good. The last thing is that we can elaborate on prizes. I think prizes are super cool, and I came up with a small table. It's just spitballing, like this is like napkin table. But basically, since you spend a certain amount in Hearthstone, and you're guaranteed to get your pack, so really, no matter what happens in this match, if it goes badly, you don't have to feel dour that you gambled money and just lost it. You got product in the end. And I think you guys know this. Like, this is Blizzard. You guys have this ingrained in your business sense. So I don't want to be game developer splaining, but because but it's just how I picture it, right? As a player, I'm like, I'll get some boxes. If I do really well, I'll get boxes. Now here, my camera's kind of in the way, but the top players who end in the season will get a buttload of stuff, and they'll get a bunch of gems, and they'll get more gold and shards. If they make it a certain distance in there, maybe arena tickets for another play are possible. This might be a little generous. Again, I didn't balance it. I have no idea how to do that. But the column I want to draw your attention to is seasonal rewards. So you have your season rewards now, and it just involves either playing, get the participation amount, so just play 10 games, or you have people who attain the highest rank and then never get it. That's still sort of the structure here, but I feel like it's possible to win the next tier up, get the next cool thing. There's always something cool and a bit better on the next match. And these event or seasonal rewards can change. If it's Winter's Veil and we do snow-themed maps and you put the snowball mechanics in the actual maps for 2 weeks, then there can be a special skin only for who doesn't have a Winter Veil skin, like the Sergeant Hammer, like candy cane tank or something. It's a gingerbread tank. No, we have a gingerbread hero. I don't know. I can't think of it. A sleigh. It's the Sergeant Hammer has a cannon being pulled by a reindeer, and you can only get it by, it's a tier 2 reward. I wouldn't, and maybe there's a different tint for tier 3, and maybe you get one with a few extra horns and accessories for the tier 4 reward. So you make it attainable to get the cool thing, and then you give people who finish a little higher a slightly cooler thing. But that way, it's locked behind a mode, and if it's awesome enough and cool enough, it might incentivize people to be like, let's just take a roll of the dice and try at least get 3 wins so that we can get a tier 1 reward, because there's an announcer there. I just feel like, that we can put the standard pool of prizes in, and then we can sweeten the honey pot in this mode in a way that you cannot do in any other mode. So not only are people playing in the premier 5v5 competitive experience, they're doing so, they were brought in for something cool, for a cool reason. And that makes it a happening place with all the heroes queues. I like this idea quite a lot, actually. That's why I'm making a video of it. I'm insane, Okay, I said I'd make this video short. I think I've probably been droning on for a while, so just going to close out again. I think this mode can also provide long-term engagement for players, with new rule sets, mutations, and then getting back to the regular good old heroes that I know a lot of people would just probably prefer in this mode. We can do that too. But it's just a lot of opportunity, a lot of knobs, a lot of opportunities for prizes, and for people to have fun in this, especially with the way seasons are going. Seasons are kind of short, but they're also kind of long in the sense that nothing changes between seasons. There's no reason to get excited for a new season. The only thing you get is the 10 placement matches, which, is not a prize. You do get stuff for the end of season rewards. I just don't think it feels like you have a lot of agency around it. I just feel like I've played this game for 3 years, haven't made masters, and I'm not bitter. I don't want to complain about it, but I look at the mount and I'm like, I can't attain that. That's a lot of play, and it might be above my skill level. I still want to play ranked modes. I still want to participate in it. And I'm not saying give me the thing, but I feel like if we can make it 5-3 on a regular basis, and then start making it 6-3, and start making it 7-3, I feel like there's a progression story with the people I play with that I don't get from vacillating between Platinum 2 and Diamond 1. Or just sort of treading water. Like it's just really unexciting to be where I am in Team League. It's almost like it doesn't exist in Team League for me. And I think it's a feast or famine kind of deal for the teams that really committed to Team League. They climb up high, and then everyone down is like, Again, you can see that. I'm just guessing based on my anecdotal experience, so I could be way off. But personally, I think if there was an arena mode in here, I'd be tempted to just never care about my ladder rank at all. I think I'd play quick match. I think I'd try rank sometimes, but I think I'd play quick match. I think I'd play unranked sometimes and ranked, but mostly this would be like number 2 for me. I don't really play Brawl too much, or versus AI anymore. So really, I want a competitive experience, but I'm a little bored. Like I get bored playing Hero League. I don't progress, and it's up to me to get better. But at the same time, I'd rather play with my friends, and the Team League experience is the best experience. So I have a very strong inclination that we would get a lot of enjoyment out of this. So that's it. That's I guess I've said the video's longer than I wanted it to be, but basically I just think going in the long term, the holidays, the content releases, like you release a new hero, there can be an event tied to arena with it. There's just a lot of ways you can put a mech week in and have like Hearthstone style cards that you can pick up and just do crazy wacky things that are subtle but impactful to the meta of this challenge mode. And finally, with the 12 plus wins, which is totally optional, if you can make teams compete to go as deep as possible. And I just feel like those matches are highly streamable and would be very enjoyable to watch. And one would hope that there would be some content. I know MOBAs are kind of hard, especially this one. It's so team oriented. You can't really engage with your stream while you're playing the game. Whereas like I think in League, probably there's more solo time where you're just proving your individual skills, so then you can spend time chatting with your chat room while you play. But I don't know, I find it compelling. I find watching someone 15-2 try not to lose their next match a compelling concept for streaming. So and to play top teams, that would be a stream where number 2 NA Team League arena, watch us go. I think that'd be awesome. Anyways, that's it for me. Team League Arena is what we need to do. I'm out.